Welcome back, Keyless Entry viewers, and today we're going to be looking at another EV. And today we're going to be looking at an EV that I thought I was going to be buying because this thing is one of the best unique design vehicles that you can see on the EV market. So today we're looking at the Cadillac LYRIQ, and this is the Luxury 1 trim. So this particular model is going to be a little bit distinctively different than what you would see on some of the other, like the sport model and the higher end luxury models. You still have that very unique Cadillac distinctive headlight group where you've got the beautiful dancing headlights when they come on. Unfortunately, you can't see them right now because it is too dark, but you get an idea of exactly what it looks like from this point of view, where you have the daytime running lights on the sides, turn signals up top, and of course you have that very unique Cadillac badge that does illuminate as well. You do have your active airflow down here at the bottom. You also have your front facing camera because this does have a 360 camera. Coming around to the sides, you know, this is probably one of the best angles I think for the LYRIQ when you look at it from this point of view. And that is going to be, you know, you get that 3/4 look. You do have 265 R20s. I'm sorry, 265/50 R20s as far as Michelin primacy tires that are on here. And these are all season, not all weather, but they still do a really good job when it comes to the overall performance. On the mirror caps, they are blacked with the 360 camera and integrated turn signal. And of course, if I click on here, that's going to bring up my charging door. And that was the one thing, if you notice how it kind of like stuttered a little bit, that was the one thing that kind of stood out to me as something that I didn't really like. I never really liked the way it looked, but it closes fine, but when it opens, it has that little bit of a little pivot drop where it just shakes a little bit. But other than that, it's been proven to be okay. No one's had any issues with it. You have your black molding that goes on. This is gloss black trim with a silver accent. Looks really good together. It's the same thing that goes across up top, right? So you have that silver accent up here, kind of integrates into this unique look. The character line for here is actually right here on that mid side. So it kind of comes up, flows in, it kind of slightly kind of dissipates here, but then comes back toward the back as we come around to the back side. And of course, in the tail end with the LYRIQ, you also have, you know, excuse all the stickers, this just came off of the truck. So it was actually a really good unit to get. You have your integrated LED tail lights here with the LED reflective lights on this side, driving lights. And then this is the one thing that throws people off. This is the 450E, so it is the bigger all-wheel drive engine inside. Okay, so one of the things that people do forget is the fact that Cadillac integrates their button to open up their rear trunk release. It's not down here at the bottom where it's going to get your hands dirty from the camera and all the other things, but it's actually the logo. You just push it. There we go. And it just opens right on up. And inside back here, you're going to see that they do give you plenty of space back here. I think this is a pretty nice size rear trunk area. You have your, you know, this is your case for your charging system that is actually right here. So someone must have took it out, showing it to someone, because this is what they call a dual. This is a dual charger, so it actually works on level 1 and also works as a level 2 charger with the right plug inside. And I believe it kicks out at 11 kilowatts, so it's actually a pretty decent charge range there. Open up down here at the bottom, you do have plenty of trunk space back down here, which is nice. So plenty of little area that you can stick that charger cable and everything else in the trunk. You do have the ability to, you know, put in a rear cover. It actually tethers into these anchors on both sides. You do have LED lights in the rear along with a 12-volt outlet right there as well. And you have your tie-down hooks. And then this is where your cover will actually traverse into here to protect everything that's in the back. The inside of the back here is this really nice felt line interior, and it feels really good together. There are tethers back here for your car seats and tow anchors there, or tether anchors can be for the car seats. And of course you would let your rear seats down just by reaching over and pushing that down, and then that's the seats down. Come kind of going back out for a second, you do have your rear seal plates down here at the bottom. So it does say Cadillac on here as well. And then as we close the LYRIQ, you're going to see you get that really nice third quarter rear look. And this is a look that some people don't like because it doesn't give you the same characteristics of an SUV as it does kind of look like a wagon. And I think that's what turns some people off from it. But the interior design is done so well that it just really blends out to look more or less like a big crossover, you know, not even a wagon. It looks more like a crossover. So let's kind of hop in the back seat real quick. And you can see, we'll open up the doors. And let's look at the door panel real quick. Right off the bat, you can see you got a really nice soft touch material up top. A faux wood, but it does feel really nice and smooth. You've got your really nice armrest padding back here in the back. This is your door release, so it's not like a typical handle. It actually pull up. You also have your door locks back here, which I do like, the fact that I can lock my doors in the back, and of course your window controls. A good place for a bottle that you can stick in here pretty easy, and it's got a nice little handle to kind of lift in. All right, looking into the vehicle right off the back, you can see there is pretty much really good white leather. Now here's a negative about having like a white leather seating is the fact you can see you get dirty pretty easy, right? It just happens, nothing bad. This is one, like I said, it just pretty much came off the truck, so it hasn't been fully PDI'd to where it's a delivered vehicle yet. So hopping into the back, and you can see right off the back, I've got plenty of room back here. And my knees about 3.5 inches of knee room here. And of course, this seat's all the way back. It actually, I don't think it can go back any further. So it's a pretty far distance. And then of course you have your cup holders here. You have your tether anchors here, your ISOFIX. So for you to hook up your car seats very quickly. You have your door handles, of course, up top. For your old blank handles with map lights back here in the back. And of course you have your rear vents, a little bit of a pocket here, and USB-C ports down here at the bottom that will give you the ability to charge your devices. Map pockets on both passenger and driver seats. I am going to hop out of here because it's a little bit hot and I forgot to keep the car running. All right, so coming into the driver's seat, we're gonna open up here. Like I said, once again, this car has been test drove a few times. So this is the one thing that you do have to worry about is making sure you keep your white leather treated, so that way you don't have to worry about this being a permanent stain or causing it to get dingy too fast. But what you do get is you get still the same soft touch materials. You have that same faux wood look. And of course on the door here, instead of having your driver seat controls down here by the seat, they're on the door. So you actually have your, I believe this is a 14-way power driver seat with lumbar support up and down, as far as up and down the backside. And of course you have a 2-stage memory seat, and this also does have a massager and it's heated and cooled. Going down here you also have your window controls, and in your window controls here you've got all of your mirrors. These are power folding mirrors, so you do have your power folding button here. Locks, power windows, same handle to open and unlock, and then there's your trunk release down here at the bottom. Really nice storage cubby here, and this thing goes back a good little bit back here, so I can actually store like an umbrella inside there. And I believe this one is vented as well. Let's see if it, nope, it's not. So you have to be careful when you have some of the door panels with GM products do have a, I call it a umbrella holder, and you just kind of stick your umbrella in it, and it has a little bit of a vented hole, so if it has water still on it, it will just slowly evaporate out. But let's hop on inside. All right, and someone's getting a ticket, and it's not me. All right, so the first thing we're gonna look at right off the back is gonna be the steering wheel, because it's the most polarizing piece of equipment in here. And so many other videos that I actually watched the LYRIQ, I always thought that this piece right here was solid, but actually you can see my finger, you can see through it. So that's the thing about it that stands out, is the fact that I can actually see, you know, here's all my controls. I got my heated steering wheel controls. I've got all of my controls when it comes to my cruise control over here on the left hand side. Right hand side I have all my media controls, and volume, and then the ability to change what shows up on the screen right here, whether I'm looking at playing whatever music or song that I'm playing on that side. Over here on the left hand side, you actually see the parking brake, you see the lane keep assist and the auto hold for the brake. We're going to turn that on. My seatbelt has to be on for it to come on. You just kick it on. And here's your wheel to basically adjust the brightness of your lighting on the dashboard. You have your left stock, which is basically all your lighting controls, and your windshield wipers are all tied here through this particular unit. And on the right hand side, you have your drive selector. So it's actually the very similar design to the Mercedes, where you kind of pull up and out to go into reverse, pull down to go into drive, and then you kind of push into neutral. And over here is your park button. You have that. So let's bring the steering wheel down a little bit so you can actually see this, because this is where, by gosh, this is probably my favorite part of the LYRIQ. And when the first time I saw it, I was like, there's no way they made this screen as beautiful as it is. And it is a single screen. There's no seam lines, there's no cut lines, there's no additional monitors. This is one big solid screen. And over on the left hand side, you can see that I'm looking at the standard gauge selector. If I tap that, it changes to the energy side. Here, turns on the map. And because Google's not set up yet, it just shows me a white screen. Here's your assistance, so all your driver assistance aids will show up here. And then here's a very simple, clean look. If I wanted to, I can adjust the tripometer here. I can swipe between each trip. Is trip 2, and then there's a blank, and then I can go back to current trip. And of course, I can adjust my headlights. So it's on auto right now, but if I wanted to manually control anything, I can turn those on and off. And then go back over here, and you actually have your simple gauge. I'm gonna leave it on this as we drive. And then of course you have, your time and date here, which is truly adjustable. And then over on this side, you have any content that's showing. And you got your speedometer here right on this side. And of course you have your kilowatt range that's running. Your battery, as far as percentage, shows up right here as 100%, which is not, is actually sitting at about, I think, was that 60-some%, or 75% maybe. And it shows me 235 miles left. It shows me my system, and it shows me who's buckled up and who's not. Moving over to the center console, you have all of your information I got on the I have on the air conditioning screen right now. But down here, the center, if I show this, this actually shows you your home button, takes that, and it takes you back up to this home screen. And then here is what I like. You also do have fixed buttons for all of your climate control, so it's very easy for you to change those accents. Your adjuster here that you can move with your fingers. And then you have this guy, which is a really nice storage tray that you can actually use to put, different items inside of it. And then at the bottom, you actually have a USB-C cable down here, a nice size bin that you could use for like a purse or anything on that side. And you have your 2 cup holders right here. This does allow you to put a mug with a handle inside of there. So you have that. And then of course you have your jog dial, which allows you to adjust without having to touch the screen. So it's a 2-way screen. It's actually visible with your fingers, touching with your fingers, and then of course you can use the dial here. And then you have quick buttons to go to home, navigation, and then you also have your playback music, and then your phone button. And then here's your main volume to turn your volume up and down. Going into this side, you have your wireless charger right here. And then you also have a nice little storage pocket with another USB-C port inside and a 12-volt adapter. And it's felt lined inside, so it does keep it really nice and quiet, which is really nice to see. And then there is a glove box. But how do I get the glove box? Well, you have to go into the menu, unfortunately. But it's not as bad as you would think, because there are ways to make this adjustable. So if I swipe over, I can go in here and I can see, a few more things that I want to see. Like here's my charging screen. So it'll tell me like how I'm going to charge, what percentage I want to keep it at to maintain it. And then if I go back, I can go in here and adjust themes. So I actually have different themes that I can change. So I can add a create new themes as well for it. To get to the glove box, I'm going to start over so you can see exactly where it's at. So you can go here. This is your quick button. You hit that, controls, glove box release, and then there's your glove box there. And it's a nice size glove box, felt line, dampened, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. It drops off. Of course, once again, you have all of your other controls built in. Dome light controls, power window lockout controls, high beam, low beams, all those things are there. Safety locks, all of your assist control features, they're all there. So that's the good thing about this particular car, is that it is pretty much a really simple car for you to use. Now, going back through this, you go back in here, you've got your vanity mirror, which is right there. And you can see me, hello. And then of course, does this guy slide out? It does. So that's one thing that most car companies do, make that standard now. And then you have a really nice, unique overhead console. And this actually has the ability for you to push open. And this thing is huge. And of course you have all of the other features like your OnStar, which is here. And I do believe they give you a subscription now built into the car payment itself. But look at the size of this roof. This thing is huge. And it's beautiful back there. Does let in a lot of light. The window tinting on that light is actually not bad. I mean, a lot of times you get cars like these and the window tinting is not that great, but it's actually pretty decent. I don't feel like I'm about to sweat to death, which is the biggest reason why a lot of people don't like it. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get this guy out for a quick drive.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so I want to thank you again for joining me on another adventure with Keyless Entry, and we're looking at our first time looking at the Cadillac LYRIQ, and this is the luxury number 1. And I did want to mention one thing that I forgot to talk about earlier, is I kept wondering why was this thing like beeping at me, but I kept feeling this vibration in the seat. Well, it actually has a vibrating seat in the bottom that lets you know when you're getting close to something. So instead of you getting these annoying beeps, you get a little bit of a vibration in the seat, which is very unique. It's different. It makes you kind of feel like, okay, all right, it's telling me something. But I will say this car rode like a dream. It feels great. And if you're thinking about putting it on your list, right, come look at it, because this car has sticker was $63,000, luxury 1. I think the only option that was on here was the color, which I'll put the color up here in just a second. The color was an option that was on here, and I believe it was like the kit that came with the Charger. Those are the only things that was on the car. So if you're looking for, like I said, an alternative, really good EV, come by, test drive it, see what you think. It's not for everybody. It does have a very unique look to it, and so many people will come back and say, wow, I love the way it looks on the outside. But it's always that question about, do you like the way it drives? Because I can tell you right now, for me, it's the best, smoothest, quietest EV I've driven to date. So drive safe, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks again for watching. You know, like, subscribe. We'll see you soon.